Hello and welcome to this video where I want to talk about the mobile phone and how you can use it effectively to shoot video. Many times we are using the mobile phone when we are in meetings or even when we want to teach or even shoot a video. One of the most fundamental things that you need to understand when you're using the mobile phone is that it is not a good idea to hold it in your hand when you're shooting video or even when you are using it to take good pictures. So I would recommend that you have a small tripod for it and of course a mobile phone holder. When you go to any electronics shop, you'll be able to see small tripods. Usually those small tripods, they've got adapters for meant to hold this mobile phone holder. Many of them are sold separately. So there will be a tripod and there will be a mobile phone holder. And then now it's up to you to connect that holder onto the tripod. And then you can use it to hold your mobile phone. So it is important for you to do that because many times when you see videos for people who are in online meetings and maybe they are being interviewed, you see that many of them would attempt to hold the mobile phone in their hand, and due to the vibrations or their hands can shake a little bit, then the video appears to shake also. The other thing is the orientation of the mobile phone. Make sure that the camera, the mobile phone is vertical, is in the vertical plane and it is at your own level. Do not put the mobile phone in such a way that you are looking down on it like this and you're shooting video. Make sure that it is at your level. You can see that when I'm holding this, let me remove this one to that position so that you can be able to see how I'm holding this. You can see that when I hold my mobile phone, it is at my level. I'm not holding it like this. If you're holding it like this, the video from the other side, the other person will see as if you are leaning backwards. At the same time, don't put it so much high up there. Okay? Make sure that it is at your own eye level, somewhere around there. Not too close, not too far, just in a comfortable position. But when you hold it like that and you are shooting a video or you are in a meeting, you are likely to get tired. And when you get tired, you will shift the orientation of your mobile phone. And you'll find that the video from the other side will not be as clear or as neat or as professional as you would like it to be. So what do I recommend? I would recommend that you use a mobile phone holder plus a tripod. The one I would recommend is just a simple tripod, just like the one which is used to hold the real cameras out there, such as this one. It is small enough and it is quite portable. And you can be able to adjust the height so that it can be at a good position and you can be able to adjust its height. You know, it's got the three tripods can be extended, like you can see here. It just works like any other camera tripod out there. You may find that there are some which comes with the holder and they are fixed onto the tripod itself. But I would prefer this because this one allows me to connect different gadgets onto it. It is small enough, but it can be able to hold a DSLR. But here you've got to be very careful. When you're holding the DSLR camera with this small tripod, you've got to be careful because the DSLR is heavy. It is not meant to hold heavy electronic gadgets. It is meant maybe to hold a tablet because on the other side, there is this holder. It's big enough for the tablet. And the other side, of course, it is used to hold the mobile phone. You could change the orientation of this phone. You could have it in such an orientation, in which case now I'll have to rotate this. Let me just rotate it so that it is in a good position to hold my phone in the portrait position. There. In that position now, your mobile phone is in the portrait position. And many times I see many people using their mobile phones that way. It is not a particularly good position. It is comfortable for you to hold, but the other person will see a video that is very narrow and it doesn't feel the whole of that space. So always hold your mobile phone in the landscape position like that. Just in case you have to use your hand to hold your mobile phone for shooting video, or when you are in a meeting, because sometimes you can't be able to afford that, just use your 3 fingers. You can see the way I'm holding it. I'm putting my last finger at the bottom, my first finger at the top, and then the thumb is free to do all the stopping, the starting, and the stopping like that. And I can be able now to put it in a comfortable position and be able to shoot a video or be able to participate in an online meeting, but not for long because I will certainly get tired. So that is where the stand comes in. And it is quite easy to connect. It's quite easy to connect this mobile phone holder onto the tripod. So that one I won't go into it, because once you get your holder, you just need to look at the way it looks like and be able to slot it in. Probably there will be some sort of lever that you can turn in order to put it in, and then you close the lever and then it holds your mobile phone quite comfortably. The next thing is the audio that we get from the mobile phones. Usually, the inbuilt microphone is not meant for professional audio. And many times, when we look at videos which are shot using the mobile phone, unless the inbuilt microphone is so good, usually that microphone does not capture very good audio. So it is important for you to be able to connect an external microphone to your mobile phone in order to capture a fairly decent audio. So many times when we use the inbuilt microphone in the mobile phone, it doesn't give us that professional audio that we may be looking for. So in order to capture a fairly decent audio using your mobile phone, you need to connect an external microphone to your mobile phone. There are 2 types of external microphones that I would recommend. The first one is this small microphone here. We call them the lavalier microphone. All you need to do with this microphone is clip one end of the microphone onto your clothing, and then the other jack, you put it into the audio input jack of your mobile phone. And then your mobile phone may detect that microphone, or you will have to do a few settings here. Now let me use my own experience with this. The type of phone I'm using here is Infinix. And both of them, the Infinix Note 4 and the Infinix 8i, they gave me a bit of problem when I'm connecting an external microphone to it. Why? The default application that comes with it for the camera does not detect an external microphone directly. So I went to the settings trying to find out where I can be able to see maybe a setting for an external microphone. I didn't get any. So what I did was to download another application referred to as the Open Camera app. That Open Camera app The moment I downloaded it and went to the settings, then I went to the video settings, I was able to identify a point where there is the audio settings for the video. And it is at that point that I had to allow it or to set it in such a way that it's going to detect an external microphone and start using the external microphone. So the external microphone, the moment it is connected, it overrides the internal microphone or the inbuilt microphone. And that is the good thing about that camera app. So I would recommend that if in your mobile phone you say that it is not detecting the external microphone which is you try to connect to the mobile phone, then download the Open Camera app, go to the settings and do those changes, and it will be able to use that external microphone every time you connect it. The other type of microphone that I would recommend that you connect to your mobile phone is an XLR microphone. The difficulty thing about the XLR microphone is that it requires a phantom power, some external power. It must be powered for it to work. And that is where an audio interface comes in. The audio interface that I'm using for this microphone is referred to as Zoom H6. It is small enough, portable, and it got good features that I like. So that is what I would recommend, that if you've got to use an XLR microphone, then look for a good audio interface. That audio interface has a USB output. So you're going to connect that USB to your mobile phone. So you are wondering, how do I connect a USB to my microphone? You will need an OTG cable. An OTG cable such as this one. It's got the plug. One side is the plug, similar to the one that you use when you are charging your mobile phone. So that is the one that you'll have to insert into the socket of your mobile phone. The other side has got a USB socket. So that is where you're going to connect the USB from your audio interface. And remember, since you have already downloaded the Open Camera app into your mobile phone, it will detect that microphone immediately. For example, when I was using this condenser microphone and I connected the USB to the mobile phone, it detected it very, very well. In fact, it becomes too sensitive, and I had to reduce the gain on the audio interface in order for it to not to overwhelm the input, in order for the signal not to be so strong that it clips most of the time. So I had it to reduce the gain, and it captured very good audio. Very good audio. So those are the two microphones that I would recommend. A lavalier microphone or an XLR microphone that you can use with your mobile phone in order to capture very good audio. Now, the two sockets, maybe when you go to buy the OTG cable, be careful to buy the cable that has got your type of socket, because there are two types. There is one which is completely round on all the sides, and it does not matter from which direction you connect the OTG cable, like the one I'm using with this phone here. This one is completely round. And of course, there is one with a cable such as this one. There's one which is very, very small, this one here. And that one does not matter in which side I'm plugging it into the socket. It can go that way, or I can turn it the other way around and it goes in all the same. The other one that comes with the second type of socket, it's got a trapezium kind of shape. So you've got to be careful the way it goes into that socket. So don't force it. You've got to study the way you plug in your charging lead into your mobile phone. And that is the same way that you've got to insert your OTG cable into your mobile phone socket like that. So just be careful on that end so that you do not spoil the socket, the charging socket of your mobile phone. So having said that, both of them work the same way. Whether it's got a cable or whether it doesn't have a cable, they work the same way. It is for connecting the USB from the output of your audio interface. And that is how you would ensure that you're using the mobile phone correctly and it's going to give you good video. The other thing that you want to ensure, if you're shooting yourself, many times I would rotate it like that, and let me try to rotate it from here and here. I need to orient it properly. Got to make sure that the orientation is okay. There it is. So when I'm shooting myself, a video of myself, many times you'd like to see your own yourself and at the same time communicate with the other person. Many times that can sort of distract you. And many people end up looking at themselves instead of looking at the camera. So just be careful on that end, because you want to make eye contact with your viewer. For you to make proper eye contact, don't look at yourself. Look at the small camera lens on the mobile phone. It is usually at the corner. Just concentrate on that. Keep your eye there. Once initially you are sure that your video appears okay, your picture appears okay, forget about that. Now keep your eye on that small lens on the camera. That way, you'll be making proper eye contact. I'm sure you have seen most of these people who are communicating using the mobile phone or the webcams. You find that actually they don't make proper eye contact with the viewer. The reason being, they are looking at themselves instead of looking at the lens of the camera. For instance, right now, I'm shooting this video using a DSLR camera. And there is a video of the same on my computer monitor. If I look at my computer monitor when I'm shooting myself like this, obviously I will not be making proper eye contact with you. So in order to make proper eye contact with you, I've got to look at the lens of my camera, which is over there. So the moment I put my eye on that lens, I'm sure I'm making proper eye contact with my viewer, who is you. But if I concentrate on looking at myself, you can see now I'm not making proper eye contact with my viewer. So just be careful on that. The other one that you might want to investigate, because it will give you quite good video, is the camera at the back. Let me just, yes, is the camera at the back. This time, you don't have a chance of looking at yourself, because if you want to look at yourself, it is from the other side, all right? But you're making use of the best camera for shooting video. It's got the best resolution. But again, you suffer the disadvantage of not having to look at yourself. But it is the best camera for such purposes. And when you're using that, there is no chance of being distracted, because you can't look at yourself unless you go to the other side, which is impossible, unless you have somebody else look at you and confirm that you're within the frame and your lighting is okay. That brings me to the last point. When you're shooting video using your mobile phone, many times some people shoot a video of themselves, but they forget that if they are having any lights out there, they can easily blind the camera, the lens of the camera that they are using. So make sure that you don't have lights behind you. All the lights should be in front of you. The camera should be between you and the lights. For example, the way I've positioned my lights here, the camera is here, I am here, the light source is here. So what happens is this: the light comes from the bulb over here, falls on my face, then my face reflects that image into the camera. That way, the camera sees me as being the brightest object, and therefore it's likely to form a very good image of me over here. And that happens with that camera that I'm using over there. That camera is in a dark position, and then the lights are right here in front. They're right here in front, but the lights are facing me, so they illuminate me. Once the light falls on my face or on this object, the object reflects that light to the camera, and the camera is able to capture my image very, very well. So don't make the mistake of blinding the camera of the lens of your camera. If you do that, there'll be a lot of glare and you won't appear to be very bright, or your image won't appear okay. For instance, even right now, this mobile phone is preventing a lot of light from reaching me over here. But I don't worry about that, because I've got the fill-in light here which compensates for that and lights me all the same. So those are some of the things to observe when you're shooting video, and I'm sure when you do that, you'll find that your video will be sharp, it will be clear, and it will be good to look at, and it won't disturb the other person on the other end. But the first thing you need to be careful about is the audio, because if the audio from any video is not captured properly, the viewer or the person watching you, they're usually put off by bad audio. They can tolerate a bit of bad picture, but bad audio is intolerable because it goes and disturbs the mind. And you find that once that person is put off by such a video, they are likely to even skip that video, go to another video or something like that. And you find that they will only listen to you if they have to. But given the slightest choice, they would rather watch something else or listen to something else. So those are some of the tricks that I thought I should share with you, especially if you're using your mobile phone for online meetings, or using your mobile phone to teach or to do any other work out there, because we know nowadays we cannot afford to go online in order to do our jobs effectively. And one of these is to communicate via video. So I thought I should share with you some of these tricks of using the mobile phone to conduct online meeting, or when you are teaching your students online, or even when you are making a simple video. It could be a video lecture, or it could be a video of something that you want to share with your audience out there. Thank you very much for listening to me, and until next time when I come up with another trick or two on how to use these electronic gadgets when you're trying to reach your audience, it is bye-bye.